Welcome to PM Magazine. Hi, I'm Marlo Bendow, and tonight I'm on East Calhoun Parkway, right across the street from Lake Calhoun, where there's a beautiful sunset. And in just a little while, we're going to go inside of 3343 Calhoun Parkway. Looks like any other house in the street, but in fact, it's quite different. It's the home of the Minnesota Zen Meditation Center. And in just a little while, we're going to take a look at this ancient religion, at some of its rituals and customs, and find out why it's growing in popularity in many places in the country today. Buddhism is one of the 6 major religions of the world. It's practiced in India, the Far East, China, and Japan. In each country, the religion has its own flavor and sects. From Japan comes Zen Buddhism, or simply Zen. Since the 1950s, Zen has become popular in the U.S. Meditation centers have sprung up in many areas, like this one here on Calhoun Parkway in Minneapolis. Recently, I spent an unusual day beginning at 6:30 a.m. finding out all that's involved in Zen, a meditative practice that teaches one how to be totally alert moment to moment, not dwelling on thoughts, the past, or the future. All of the instruction at the Minnesota Zen Meditation Center is given by the teacher, or as he's called, Roshi Kataguri.
Zen spirit, in a sense, they are making people the mind free and be present.
Do you think Americans have difficulty being present?
It's very difficult being present, broadly speaking, because not only American people, but also this is very common for human beings. All human beings are very difficult because always analyze, dichotomize, and they're understanding something in dualistic sense.
People worship or practice their religion in many ways and in many different places. For some it's a church or basilica, for some a temple or a synagogue, for some it's a mountaintop or the woods. In the religion of Zen Buddhism, the practice is meditation, and it's called Zazen, and it takes place in this austere but quiet room called a zendo. Students of Zen spend several hours a week in the zendo doing zazen. In the past 10 years, many forms of meditation or relaxation have become popular, like TM, yogic meditation, and relaxation response. And though the aim of quieting the mind is shared by all of them, they're all quite different. In zazen, the posture is very important, a straight back and the lotus position. Unlike other forms of meditation, in Zazen, there's no use of a word or a sound or a mental picture. One begins by counting the breaths until you can follow the breath without counting.
Okay, your eyes just on the floor and close your mouth.
With practice, gradually the thoughts and worries of each day are supposed to disappear, and you might experience a mental state that is described as alert but calm. Now, this same state of mind is what is sought through the martial arts like karate and aikido. It seemed to me that to practice this kind of meditation, you wouldn't necessarily have to change your religion. Do you think that Zen practice is compatible with Christianity?
Well, in a sense, it's a little bit different. But in a sense, if you practice Zen, it makes you understand Christianity better way. Deeply.
Dainin Kataguri was born in Osaka, Japan in 1928 and was ordained a Zen monk at the age of 18. Shortly thereafter, he entered a Heiji monastery in Japan, one of the oldest and most strict, where he trained for 3 years. He and his wife and 2 sons came to Minnesota in 1973 after years of working in San Francisco with Suzuki Roshi, from whom he received his title of teacher. To the Twin Cities membership of 60 people, he lectures weekly about Zen practice.
In Zen, the way is attained with both body and the mind.
What type of person is attracted to Zen Buddhism?
The people come to Zen Center are very straightforward to looking at the various aspects of human life, weakness, strength, both. But If you don't realize, we are always emphasize, I am strong, I am okay, everything all right, I can do anything. Of course we can do, but this, we cannot do this. So very humble, straightforward.
Though many come at first out of curiosity, they stay only if meditation seems right for them. To me, it seemed as though Zazen could be boring, and I asked Eric Storley, who teaches at Metro Community College, what had kept him doing Zazen for 15 years.
Perhaps an analogy would be, why do people go into the wilderness? Why do you go into the mountains? It's very beautiful. It reaches something very basic in our humanity.
Though life at the center revolves around morning and night Zazen periods, it also includes fascinating ancient Japanese rituals, which are both beautiful and strange to a Western Christian like me. We arrived at 6:30 a.m. Saturday morning, just in time for the chanting of the sutras, which could perhaps be compared to saying the creed, and the bowing, which was later explained as a symbolic bow not to the Buddha, but to the Buddha nature or common mind in all beings. Following the service was a silent and orderly ceremonial breakfast, which originated in Japanese monastic life. During this time, the students practiced keeping the meditative state of mind that occurs in Zazen. And again, to me, an outsider, this seemed both exciting to watch and difficult to completely understand.
When I sit down and eat in that fashion, it's like a continuation of the Zazen. You don't lose track of your mind. You just stay kind of centered.
After breakfast, there was more Zazen, a lecture, a coffee break, and then work period, also considered an important part of Zen practice. The students scattered to do all sorts of jobs, from carpentry and sewing to caring for the plants.
Working is considered to be an important part of our practice. So it's important to have practice doing that in the calm atmosphere of the Zendo. And then when we go out into our daily lives, it's easier to make that transfer.
And while Zen is certainly not for everyone, the philosophy has greatly influenced contemporary American life, as evidenced by popular books on the Zen of tennis and golf, the Zen of running, or Zen of dance. And to achieve the Zen of anything depends on regular periods of Zazen. Now stay with us. The PM departments are next.